So we're going to talk about making banana puree for your little ones. I think bananas are an amazing starter food because there's not much prep involved at all. You can literally just grab this banana, drop it in your diaper bag, and as long as you have a fork with you, then you'll be able to make some puree for your child on the go. So we'll start off, I tend to prefer slicing them in half because a baby that's first starting to eat food is not going to have more than 1/2 of a banana in a serving. So if they're younger, 6 to 8 months, this is a typical serving, and then you can save the other half in the fridge for the next serving. You want to peel it. And just note that once the banana is peeled, it will oxidize. So these are good for, a single serving meal. They don't keep in the fridge or freezer once they are mashed because of the oxidization. So you slice it down the middle, and if you have an older child, a toddler, 9, 10 months and older who's ready to feed themselves, bananas are another really great snack food, and you can slice them in little half-moon shapes. So these half-moon shape sizes are perfect for a toddler that are just starting to eat because they can hold it once they have the pincher grip, they can get it to their mouth, and then once it's in the mouth, it's easy enough to mash to where there's no choking hazard. Once we have these pieces sliced, you're just going to move them into a bowl, and either using the back of a fork, which is really easy for on the go, you would just break it up and mash it to the consistency that works for your baby. I tend to, if I'm at home, prefer a potato masher just because it's a little more efficient, you can get it done faster. But the beauty with bananas is that, you really can leave them as chunky as you like, or you can thin them down, quite thin by mashing with the potato masher. So a lot of babies, if this is their first experience with food, you would probably want to add a little bit of water. But one thing to note about bananas is they are technically a binder food, meaning that in some babies that are much younger, closer to 6 months, and with a less progressed digestive system, they tend to back them up a little bit. So while they aren't a great first food, I think that it's maybe better to introduce it as the 3rd or 4th food item for your baby because there can be constipation as a side effect. So once you've brought the banana to the consistency that works for your baby, you can put it into a little serving bowl. And then you're ready to go. And it's that easy, banana puree. So now we're going to review how to make avocado puree for your baby. I think avocados are one of the best starter foods. They are ready to go. You don't have to cook them. You just slice and scoop. As children get older, they're a great snack on the go. But you just want to half it right down the middle. And using a spoon, scoop the flesh out into a bowl. And then using a potato masher or the backside of a fork, you'll smash it out until you reach the consistency that works best for your baby. A baby that's 6 months old and just starting off, you would want to mash it down pretty finely. And then an older baby, maybe 7 or 8 months, could definitely handle a lot more texture or chunkiness. If you want to experiment with spices, cumin is an excellent one to go with an avocado. So once you've mashed it to the consistency that works best, just scoop it into a little serving dish. And it is ready to go. And that's how simple making avocado puree at home is. So we're going to talk about making your own baby apple puree or applesauce if you have some older toddlers in the house. What you'll want to start off with is a sweeter variety of apple. I'm a huge fan of Gala, Honeycrisp, or even Red Delicious comes out very beautifully. Depending on, the quantity you're making, if you're doing just a few small servings, I tend to prefer to leave the peel on because about 90% of an apple's nutritional content will be in the peel. So if you peel it, you're removing so many beneficial nutrients for your child. So one of the big things that you want to focus on when you're slicing in order to steam the apples is to try to uniformly slice them so they cook evenly. So, you know, every chunk will be slightly different, but if they're more or less the same size, then they will cook evenly once they're in the steamer. So apples are really fantastic. They're one of the most high sources of fiber that you can find for children. So if you do have a child that's having constipation issues, this is a really great food to offer them to keep the system moving along, so to speak. So we have 3 apples sliced up here that we're going to put into the steam basket. And the reason that I prefer to steam is that it will retain the most amount of nutrients for your child versus roasting or boiling. So we'll add these apples to our steamer. And then we're going to give it about 4 to 5 minutes until it's fork tender. All right, so now that our apples have been steaming about 4 to 5 minutes, depending on how small or large you slice them, you just want to make sure they're nice and fork tender before you pull them out. So I use a slotted spoon and a regular just table fork to test the softness. Good to go. So now that they're fork tender, we'll add them to the high-speed food processor blender. Come on over here. And depending on the apple, varietals like a Red Delicious are probably going to come out a little bit waterier, so you want to strain off any excess water. These are Gala, so they tend to have a little less water in them, so we'll not have an issue with excess water. When you are preparing purees, I tend to start on the thicker side, so you want to take out a lot of the extra water because it's always much easier to thin them down than it is to thicken them back up. And as your baby grows, they'll tend to prefer the thicker as opposed to the thin. So we'll just flip on the blender and blend about 20 to 30 seconds. Right, so now that 20-30 seconds has gone by, we're down to a nice smooth consistency, and just portion it out into your serving dish. And you're ready to go. One of my favorite things, especially during colder winter months, is to add a little bit of cinnamon. I think it's great to introduce babies to spices. The earlier the better. And apples are a really fantastic puree that you can add cinnamon to. So now I'm going to go over the steps of making kiwi puree. This is another one of my no-cook, easy prep favorites, a little more so than a banana, but when you have a ripe kiwi, there's not much involved. So the first step is peeling it. Their, furry skin is definitely not something that's palatable for young babies, so you want to make sure and get rid of that. A lot of people will ask about the seeds. The seeds are actually very nutrient dense. So it really comes down to a preference on texture for your individual child. So if you notice that they don't seem to like kiwi, you can always try keeping the seeds out and giving them the puree without it to see if that might be the culprit. Kiwis do not need to be cooked, so you just cut them raw. I prefer to get them in chunks so that they're easier to turn in your blender. Once we have them cut, put them in a bowl. We have a total of 3 kiwis here, which is a great portion size. Kiwis are amazing to keep both in the fridge or the freezer. So you would just want to add them into your high-speed blender or food processor. And we're going to turn it on and let it run for about 20 to 30 seconds until we reach a nice thin puree. So once it's turned about 20 or 30 seconds, you're good to go. Sometimes chunks will collect on the side, so you may have to scrape it down and reblend a few times, but for the most part, kiwi, when it's nice and ripe, it'll come out to a nice thin puree straight away. So you just want to portion a size out to serve your baby. So then you're good to go with your kiwi baby food puree. So now we're talking about making your own homemade baby cereal using oats. Oats are one of my favorite whole grains because no matter how you buy them at the supermarket, whether it's a steel cut oat, a quick oat, or a rolled oat, they have all been very, very minimally processed. So of all the whole grains out there, they're going to retain the most amount of nutrients and vitamins for your child. Again, it's very, very simple to make your own baby cereal at home. Right now I have about 1/2 cup of quick oats measured out. I'm just pouring it into my spice grinder. This is a little bit more portion-wise than what you'll need per serving, but I tend to make more and then store the extra either in my fridge or freezer in an airtight container to save time going forward. So I'm now processing about 20 to 30 seconds until it comes to a dust consistency. All right, so that was about 30 seconds. And as you can see, it's come out to a really nice dust consistency. It's basically what you would see in any packaged store-bought baby cereal off the shelf, but the good thing is that you don't have any of the stabilizers or added chemicals. So now what we'll do is measure out a 1/4 cup serving, which for a young baby would yield about 2 meals. For an older child, 8 months plus, will be perfect for a single serving. And we'll come over, we have 1/2 cup of water boiling, and we'll add in the processed oats. And you want to stir, stir, stir immediately when the oats go into the pan to prevent any sort of clumping, which could pose a choking hazard to your baby. And then we'll stir continuously for about 3 to 4 minutes until all of the water cooks out and we bring it down to an oatmeal consistency. So now we're right at a perfect oatmeal consistency for our little one. And you'll scoop off your portion size into the serving dish. And since cereals, whether it's store-bought or homemade, tend to come out a little bit gummy when prepared, I prefer to add in a puree. So this is a kiwi puree. And you just want to mix it in and stir, stir, stir. So I'm using the kiwi puree here, but any other puree, a sweet potato, apple, pear, all work very, very nicely, so long as you can add a little extra moisture to take the clumpiness out and prevent any sort of choking hazard. And of course, to add more flavor for your little one's expanding palate. And then you're all set with your homemade baby oat cereal.